Right. Welcome back to the Natural Physique podcast. All four of us again, so that's maybe what, 4 or 5 weeks in a row. We've got it going strong. We've got another show review to go through. We're going through the Wnbf Supernaturals, sponsored by Pit Stop Nutrition. Code Josh10, code Fin10, code Noah10, code Matt10. Any
If
code.
you use all codes together, you get 40% off.
That would be
Yeah.
mega. That would be amazing. But yeah, the show to go through. We had a good few clients compete. We had eight over the weekends, clients for myself and Finn. Then Matt had some more opposing clients on top of that as well. Noah was watching the Demon Slayer movie dressed as a character.
But that's
That's
not for this
so good.
podcast, mate. Not for this fucking pod.
But yeah, it was a very, very, very good weekend. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and everything that happened. It was very full on, but a lot of good things to chat over. So before we get into that, as we always do, catch up. I mean, we kind of seen each other realistically not that long ago, but has anything happened, Matt? Any like parts of your body broken or anything? Or
Funny you mentioned that, mate. Funny you
yeah,
mentioned that. So earlier on today, I was training legs and got off the Smith machine squat. So I had a really good set on that. But as I'm sure you boys know, like sometimes when you have a really good set, your head's kind of just like "Ugh," wobbling about all over the place. So I was, to be fair, it was a good 2 minutes after, and it was still kind of fucking shaking all over the place. And I was going to load up these big metal plates onto the single leg hammer strength leg press, and I like started lifting it off, and I just kind of like looked away as if to turn, and my hand slipped, and I dropped the plate from literally about
oh, so it was like,
it's like
I thought you'd had it like by your side and it was down at the ground and you'd like,
no, I was
oh,
unracking
that's
it.
bad.
I was unracking it, and then it slipped and just dropped straight down onto my foot.
No, you don't wear
Landed.
like shoes that cover your feet as well, do you? You're just
I
straight.
was bare. Well, I wasn't barefoot. I was in my socks at that point because it just got off the squat, so I hadn't even put my Birks back on. If I had my Birks, that would have been a little bit more protection. But
Mm,
yeah, dropped the plate right onto that bone, like just like at the knuckle of your foot,
mm,
dropped straight onto that, and I was like, oh, that was a bit sore, but it didn't. It wasn't like one of those painful things where you like roll about on the floor. It was just
yeah,
like that numb pain instantly,
yeah.
and I looked down at my foot and I planted my foot, and all the blood was just bubbling out of my sock, and I was like, it's not really that good. So finished the session because I didn't really have a huge amount anyway. Um, like a true champ. And then when I got home, took my
Oh,
sock off.
sorry. So you done the single leg press with that foot?
No, so I only do my left leg on a
Ah,
single leg
Is it
press.
your right foot? Sound.
yeah.
Good.
I
Yeah,
thought
that's what I
that
mean.
doesn't
Like
get any better anyway.
I can still train my left leg. So if anything, they'll probably start looking pretty good now.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so it's just the right foot, or it's the right foot that's fucked. So yeah, cleaned the wound out. It was still bleeding when I was driving home. But yeah, I cleaned the wound out, looked at my foot, and it was swollen up like fuck. So um most likely I've broken it, but I don't really want to go to the hospital and get a boot or something because I need to obviously train. I need to fly this weekend for the UK FBA show and drive about, and I don't know if I can do that with a big boot. So I'm just going to plow through like a warrior, like the butcher would. So fingers crossed. Take a bit of paracetamol, put a bit of ice on it, and it should be sweet.
Like the
You just a quick one. Do you see yourself as Matthew Chapman or do you see yourself as the butcher?
I'm the butcher.
butcher.
I don't even know, mate. I don't even know because people just shout like Matt. They just shout butcher. Like I just get called so many different names, and then my mates back here have different nicknames for me. So I get called everything.
What are those?
I get called Ape. I get called Chippy. I get called Chip. Choppers. Yeah,
I
I
was
get called
wondering where
that.
the chip came from, but it's Chapman.
Yeah, Chop, Chip, and then
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of
You
how I
know,
got that.
like David Goggins, like he created Goggins, and it's
Yeah,
like when he's just off his fucking nut and can do anything. Like he's not David Goggins, he sees himself as Goggins. Is that like you with the butcher?
yeah, 100%. Like as soon as I get in that gym, I'm the butcher. I'm there.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm there to
Send up
start taking
SoundCloud
names
audio
back.
with that man. A wee bit of motivational music.
That'll
Since
be
that gym, I'm
yeah,
the butcher.
yeah, that'll be cold. That'll be cold. But you know what? People, I've said this to people. Like when you go out on stage, you almost need a bit of a like a persona. I feel like that helps. Like if you're not a confident person, just pretend that you are something else, and then when you walk out on stage, you'll have a little bit more confidence. So when
Yeah,
I go on stage, I pretend I'm either the butcher or Natty Seabum, and it's just it helps. So
yes. It's be like Petru, just pure
Yeah, show
mob midges.
cock and balls for 30 seconds.
Yeah, hard that.
uh,
It wasn't quite as long as the PC. And then I told him to smile, and he goes, and then he goes back to his serious face, and I was like, no, I want you to smile consistently. Instead, he smiles, hits the tongue emote, and then goes back to being serious. I was like, that's not what I was looking for. But yeah, we'll obviously get onto that with chatting with everything. But Noah, Finn, any other updates, anything happening? Yous, I've got the UK DFPA this weekend coming as well. Matt, will you be there as well? No? Yeah, no?
yeah.
Yes. I shall be in St Andrews or something, like for my birthday. It was my birthday.
Yeah,
Really
there you
late for
go.
the
Tell us
podcast.
all about your birthday, mate.
It was my 21st birthday, 15th of September. There was three other people that I know that have got birthday on 15th September. So if there's anyone out there in the podcast with a 15th September birthday, let me
Everybody's birthdays, not everybody, but a lot of people's birthdays are at the minute. And I think it's when you're in accident,
New Year
know.
6.
Yeah.
It's New Year's.
isn't it? So your mum and dad, mate, they probably just got after it on New Year's, a bit pissed, and then there you are.
And literally hear her walking past the room. It's
I'll
mental.
bring her in, and let's see.
I'll discuss her.
Like
Discuss
the
it.
Jeremy Callister.
Yeah, mum, tell me all the details, please.
I was the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what, November?
Yep.
Don't know what I was. May. What's 9 months from May?
You're an accident.
Your
Yeah,
dad
probably.
just wanted his hole at one point.
Yeah.
Right. That was it.
Yeah, bro.
Right, what were we even talking about?
Your birthday.
Thank you. So yeah, birthday was birthday was great. I've still got all my presents here. I'm in the living room right now. So that stays out for a few days. We're heading to St Andrews this weekend, which will be nice. Going there from Saturday to Monday. Next to the beach, we've got a wee beach house. So just me and my like close family. So Ben, my mum, dad, Casey, and then possibly Princess as well. For my birthday, it was the travel day back up from the Wnbf, so mega early flight back up. And I say mega early, it's just like we had to get up early and we had a rental car, so we had to get it back there and then back over to the airport. So another can wank sleep after, 5 hours, 5 hours, then like a 4.5, 5 hour again, which has done me in a little bit. But the birthday itself was really good. I decided that I wasn't going to take a nap because I was so tired. I was like, I'm going to nap, and I'm wasting away my birthday. And there's a photo of me when all my family's over, just lying on the sofa like that fucking conked out, so pure insociable bastard. But it was a good day. Presents wise, Ben got me new indicators for the Jaguar. Also got me red seat belts. They sorted the valves at the back so it can go quiet, it can go loud. And I bought myself a new car. Will we be able to see it? Let me show you. I bought myself a new car. It was such a shame. I put on my story like a new car review tonight, and so many people messaged me and were like, "Brother, you're such an inspiration. You've already got a better car." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to need to message them back and somehow kind of tell them it's just a 2008 Volkswagen Passat." But this is my daily driver for those of you who are watching on YouTube. It is a 2008 Volkswagen Passat. And now that I'm training at GP's gym, which is a 40 mile round trip, I would put way too many miles on the Jaguar. It's 8,000 miles per year, pretty much. I was like, not doing that. So I now have that to drive to the gym, and then the Jaguar is for anything else. So successful week. Rest of the birthday stuff, I got a Nintendo Switch, which I'm buzzing about. Uh, I feel like a pure autistic kid getting that at 21-year-old, but it means for like flying, going away, and just like whenever I've got some downtime, I can sit and play that and just play some daft games. So very happy. Good birthday.
Do you enjoy your surprise party?
No.
Hated it.
Yeah, it was shite.
Ready
No,
to go to bed, to be
I-
fair. I bet you didn't think, fucking hell, I'm knackered, I just want to go to bed.
a teeny bit. Or that I want to just eat this fucking wrap chicken tenders and chips.
Yeah.
I was sat there for ages and the chips went cold. So yeah, ruined it. But no, it was very nice. For those of you who don't know and who obviously didn't see the Instagram story, what you playing at, I had a little surprise birthday party from all the boys. So Patreon pro cards, it was all brilliant, this and that, and I was like, all right, we're all going back to our apartments now. I'll see you later. So I'm about to leave, and Petra goes, Josh, I need a poo. I was like, okay. And he was like, just a little one, just a little poo. I was like, cool. And then 20 minutes later, he's still not came out yet. And I'm like, to Brandon, how long is this guy
We
shit?
were we were waiting for ages. I said to Petra, I was like, no, don't slow him down, speed him up. Like we're
Yeah.
bored. Fucking hurry up.
So he was pretending to do a shite for like 15, 20 minutes. And then I decide I want to get food. Like I had chicken and rice prepped. I was like, I just need some more food because I've burned so many calories, like shouting and running about today. I was like, I need some more calories. So went and got food, and that meant I had to walk over, then run back and get the car, then drive and then do this and that. Came back, then Andre opened the door, and he was like, the TV in the living room's like a bit gubbed. Can you see if you can fix it? Yeah, of course. But then the door was like completely shut, and I was like, I think Finn's in there. I thought you were going to be there just with like a wee cake, like, hey, happy birthday, mate. And there was like 15, 20 people there, all the wee, all the, I don't even know what you'd call them. There's balloons, there's music, everyone shouting happy birthday, which is the first time I've ever experienced that, which is lovely. Thank you guys. And then I had a Pokemon cake, which was splendid. Everyone just sat and chatted for like, half an hour or so. I went and what did I do for the rest of the night? Filled up the car and got ready to drive back in the morning after. But I had a very nice birthday party, so thank you. Thank you, Finn.
You're welcome, mate.
And
I had
other boys.
I had to pretend that I didn't know it was your birthday, like
Oh, I
because
knew, no, the reason I knew something was coming because I was like, yeah, it's my birthday on Monday, and we were sat there on Friday night, and you were like, it's your birthday. And then as I'm walking out, I turn around and you and Megan are giggling to each other. I was like, ah, they've done something here, but I don't know what it is.
I don't remember us giggling about it. But yeah, like we were in the car and you came and chatted to me and Meg in the car, and then I was like, "What? It's your birthday?" Like what? Oh, I didn't know, mate. But then yeah, like Noah sorted out the stuff because I was like, I've got clients on. Noah was there like spectating, so Noah went and sorted some of the bits like the cake and the balloons and stuff. Actually, I think Cam did it, didn't he?
Yeah, so he didn't come to the show on the Saturday, and I was like, how the fuck am I meant to? Because Kez was driving me around on the Saturday, so I was like, how the fuck am I meant to go and get this if I don't know where anything is? So I was like, Cam, right, pull the finger out here. I need you to do me a solid. Josh likes this, and this. If there's this stuff, get it. And we had another card. Oh, if you've not found the other card, the person who's coming back to the Airbnb is going to find your card. Um,
I don't think
we
I,
we gave you a car's birthday card, but it was for a 4-year-old. It said happy fourth birthday, and
I
it
did
was
have
like,
it.
did you find it?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I got it. Spot
Okay.
on.
Well, there you go. So I got a card and Finn got a card, and then
Yeah.
Finn's card was much better quality than my card, so we all just wrote in that
I
one.
told you. I said I've got a card. Don't get a card if you still got a card.
Yeah, I like the cars one as well.
Rather be safe than sorry.
I think I don't know what one it was that Cam wrote, like "Happy birthday, mate, love you, dash, I am gay." It's just like cheers, mate. Thank you. That was the highlight of the birthday cards. Somebody wrote a nice message in it and just didn't say who it was either, so I've got no clue who that was.
Was that Petru?
Hmm?
Petru didn't write it, I don't think.
I don't think he would have because he would have been like
That's it. I
with
didn't
me the
ask him
whole
on the
day.
day because he was competing. I asked everybody else after.
Mhm.
I didn't ask
Mhm.
Brandon and Andre and people until after they'd competed.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was very.
Pumping up backstage. Sorry, mate. Can you just sign this card?
Yeah, if that's all right. I'm very busy right now, but fuck
Steph,
it.
stop the judging for just a second.
Stop.
Petri, I'm on off stage. Need you to write this card? That's what it feels like every time I get asked to write a birthday card. I hate writing birthday cards. No.
Lewis Agnew didn't know what to write.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious. Lewis was just sat there going, what did I write? He just put happy birthday.
Nice. But yeah, birthday weekend and week so far has been really good. And then off to St Andrews at the weekend, so that'll be nice.
Should we recap the WNBF? Obviously, last episode was the preview. This is the review of the WNBF Supernaturals.
Mhm.
Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, I had three clients. I had Ed, Drew, and Brandon, and then Josh had Brandon and Andre.
Injury.
Mm. And Sean.
And
No,
no, Sean Monday.
Sean was the day after.
Oh, what also was it?
So we'll go in order. So in order of the classes. So it was like masters classes first, and then teen class. So I had Drew in the teens, and Josh had Brandon in the teens. Second and third, I
Sorry,
think
wait. What did you unpin to pin this?
Mikey's overall.
Oh, you're just switching out overalls. Is that just the
Sweet.
pleasure that you have nowadays?
Gosh,
Right.
who's it going to be next? Is it going to be me or you?
Oh, who's he taking away?
I know.
Come
I
on,
know.
I'm the OG.
I was tempted to take Josh's away because he just looks skinny.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
skinny,
I know
bitch.
I was, mate.
Yeah. Sorry, right, let's go back to this.
So yeah, I had Drew in the teens, Josh had Brandon in the teens, second and third. The guy that won, really good. Like I knew that he'd be like the main challenge for Drew. And he was just better on the day, sharper. Like Drew, again, like it's one of those with Drew. Like I've obviously Drew's been lean for ages, but he's not been like, what the fuck is that inside out? Because every time that we've like tried to push him a little bit more, he just doesn't look good. And he's like, he just starts to fade. Like his training's still okay, don't get me wrong, but like when you're so young, like I don't want to just bury him to the point where he like eats away at tissue, especially when like post show he's wanting to go enhanced anyway. Like, is it worth running him into the ground to get that extra little bit of condition when he already looks fucking great? You know what I mean? He's got great shape. He looks really good. He's happy with the second place. Obviously, we'd like to win, but he was content with second place. He looked good. He's just not sharp enough through the midsection. So we're trialing like a bit of a different peak this week where we've had like a front load. So I just kept filling him up after the show, even though he was full. But I gave him like another couple of high days, and then I'm like drying him off from now, if you like, which is basically just giving him low day food for a few days, bringing his weight down. Last two times he's been on stage, he's weighed in at 76.5 in the morning, 76.8 in the morning. Like if we can get him waking up with the fullness that he's got now, like holding on to a good amount of his fullness, but waking up maybe, 75 or somewhere around there, I would like to expect that his midsection should be tighter. There should be a bit of a drier look, which is what we're going for this weekend. So that's the plan, but he
He's
still looked
got the
great.
size, doesn't he? He just does
Yeah,
need to
mate,
be.
exactly. Yeah,
Even if
even if
he is like
flat,
relatively flat, he'll still be bigger than most teams.
yeah, exactly. So it's like just trying to bring him in a little bit tighter through the midsection because that's really where he's losing out. But he still brought a very good look to stage. I just think that Owen guy that beat him was just not as big as Drew in most poses, but a bit harder and generally has great shape as well. Not many teens have Drew's shape, but Owen probably does. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
got really good shape. Like yeah, like fair enough. You know what I mean? That's hard to beat that.
Yeah, it was good time. Brandon, I was really happy with as well, but just didn't have any fucking glaze on him, which was annoying. That was like I honestly think Brandon, like look at how Brandon's so lean, but you can't really tell there. Like when I see Brandon hit some of his shots, I'm like, geez, oh, and especially like through his quads and his legs in general. Like his rear shots here, he is really sharp. Like when I've kind of picked him for that, even like the day after, I was quite impressed here. Like he's super sharp, but you just couldn't really see it on show day, because he didn't have any glaze on. Like you can see it here, it looks great there because he had glaze on. That was when he came back afterwards. I was really happy again with the look. I honestly thought it was brilliant. This was nice in the morning. It's just a case of when we were backstage, they only had a small, teeny little room where they could glaze because if you done it in the rest of it, the fire alarm would go off. So it was like one person in, one person out, one person in, one person out. We didn't want to kind of like interrupt or intrude because there wasn't much space. But we ended up just going, fuck it, we need to, because there was a couple minutes till they went on stage. So I only literally got like a minute of glazing, just going over certain areas. And it meant that we weren't able to get like all of it covered. I think this is the pose down, yeah, it will have been where he actually had someone. But again, a really, really good look. Brandon's back into another peak for the UKDFBA this weekend, which will be great. Some nice shots there of the routine as well. Like it's a difficult one because Brandon, as well muscled, but like his shape and more so his width through his clavicles just isn't amazing. It's difficult when the pose that you spend most time in depends a lot on, or relies a lot on width. The front relaxed when you're holding that a lot of the time. Brandon's just not imposing, whereas Drew definitely is, and then the other boy Owen, who's got really good shape and everything kind of comes together, and his quads are great. It just means that he doesn't get looked at quite as much there. But I think in the muscularity rounds, Brandon done really, really well there. And obviously just looking forward to getting sharper, making sure that he's got bloody glaze on this weekend. Hughes will be there as well, so it means you can hopefully look after him and get some on him. But yeah, I was really happy with how Brandon looked. He came away with a third place medal. But again, definitely another improved look and a very good weekend for him in general. I know he enjoyed it a lot too. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Who
he did
else do
look
we
good.
have next?
He did look good. It was just like you say. I think it's similar. To be fair, it works. That kind of takes us on to the juniors. We'll go through. We'll go on to Ed first because, like you just said about like the front relax. Like
Mm.
Ed came second to Nick Arnold, who fair enough, massive, massive guy, like good bodybuilder. Not as hard, not as sharp as Ed, but just like crazy, crazy structure. Like you can see there, like front lat spread pretty damn good. Front relaxed is ridiculously good. So like when he came out, a lot of the judges probably already said, yeah, he's won because
Just
Ed's front,
instantly, yeah.
honestly, mate, yeah, Ed's front relaxed isn't his best pose. Nick's front relaxed probably is his best pose. I had Ed winning probably 70% of poses by the end. At the start, maybe not so much. As the poses went on, Ed was getting better, and I think Nick was probably not, maybe just staying the same. But Ed was getting better, probably getting a bit more confident, and also it was less time spent in the quarter turns. I think Ed beat him on probably the side poses on the quarter turns. I had Ed beating him from the rear because of the condition that he had through like glutes and hamstrings was better. I had Ed beating him on the side poses, abs and thigh, even most muscular was probably close. I just had Nick winning the front poses, front double, front lat spread, front relaxed. That's not that many. That's three.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Ed got beat, to be honest. Like speaking to the judges afterwards as well, I know that they were sort of saying, the head judge was saying the reason that Nick, it was 1 point as well. The reason that Nick won was probably because of that, because of how imposing he was at the start, and people had already made their mind up because he put Ed in the middle at the end to see if that would change anyone's mind. And I think people just stuck with their guns because it's easier. And that's no disrespect to the judges. Fair enough if that's what they want to do. I get that. It's a bit more of a ball ache going, oh, actually, last second, I changed my mind. I think it's him. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
also, that's kind of how it should work. If someone's getting better and better and someone else is not getting any better, I was surprised. I was like, oh, like I wasn't like Ed's won this 100%. It was close, and Nick is good. Like I'm not taking anything away from him. It wasn't like what that was fucking stupid. No, Nick was good. But in the overall, I think Ed was a good chunk better than him. Again, that might be me being biased, but I think it was Ed and Brandon as the top two in the overall. Like I know Nick was in there as well, but I do think it was Ed and Brandon. But anyway, he's great. Don't get me wrong, he's a fucking good bodybuilder, really good. He won it last year as well. Like I'm not taking anything away from him. He's very good, but I do think Ed was better on the day. Um, what did you think,
I didn't get to watch it. Um,
Matt?
I agree with you. I think like when they first came out, I had Nick winning. Even after the first round, I still had Nick winning. But when they went into that second round, Nick just seemed to kind of soften up a little bit. His posing fitness wasn't great. He was struggling to stay on his glutes and his hamstrings, his quads, and therefore obviously didn't look as lean. Where like I think Ed kind of just got harder and better as he posed. And his conditioning, which was better than Nick's anyway, came through a lot more. And the more it went on, the more I was like, I can't see how Ed doesn't win this. Like, I agree with you. I think like those three front poses probably had Nick winning. Don't get me wrong. Like some of the shots were still close. It
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't like a lot. It
Yeah,
wasn't as if it was like, how has Ed not won that? But I thought he was going to win.
yeah. So did I. By the end, I was like, I think Ed's got this. But it was one of those. I could if it went either way, I don't think anyone would have complained.
No,
So
yeah, and fair enough. Like I say, I'm not complaining now. I'm not like, oh my god, Ed was completely robbed. No, he wasn't. Nick's a good fucking bodybuilder. You lose to him, fair play, mate. He's huge. You know what I
yeah.
mean? He wasn't out of shape. He was in decent enough condition, wasn't he?
I
Like
think
I didn't.
it's also the freak factor that he's a junior.
yeah, yeah. Nick
Like
just had, but even when he
if it
walks
was
out, he's
another,
like 6'4" and he hits that front relaxer, like, oh my fuck.
Yeah, the
if
front
that's just
relaxer
like
is
a
the joke.
standard class, then possibly. Um, but as a junior, you're like, how on earth is that even possible? Like when he hits that front relax straight away, and you're just like, oh my God. It gives
Yeah,
that extra freak factor in a sense, just as my condition in the teens class was kind of the freak factor.
yeah,
Like as a junior to be that big and that imposing and have that level of muscularity with that height, it does definitely like put him a little bit further forwards with that. But it is difficult, as you say, when like you actually put pose by pose and Ed wins like majority of them. It's hard to be like, ah, how's he done that? But again, sometimes judges go for shape, sometimes they go for condition, sometimes they go for muscularity. It's bodybuilding's a subjective sport, isn't it? And sometimes it will go your way, and sometimes it won't.
yeah. And Ed dealt with it really well. Like he wasn't. I think when he looked back at the photos, he was like, "Oh, like I think I could have won that." He was just like he agreed with us basically.
Yeah,
He dealt with it really well. I think Ed, like I say, in the overall, I think he was definitely second. Um, And again, like it'll be cool because I think they'll probably be against each other again this weekend. So that'll be cool to see. I don't know if they're splitting up the juniors at the UK FBA. It doesn't look like they are based on what they've
Didn't
put
see
out
it.
earlier. Like it just says
they
junior
posted a
bodybuilder.
big thing, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't see it get split.
Yeah, so it might just be a huge class, which would be cool. Because that would mean that Nick and Brandon and Ed and maybe Louis Kemp would all be together.
Louis is great as well,
Yeah.
Who?
or
Louis, the
Lewis.
boy that won BMBF.
His name's Lewis.
Oh, the yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not Louis Kemp, Louis Dempster. Where have we got Louis Kemp from?
Lee Camp.
Kemp.
Kemp, yeah.
Oh, Brandon G is going up against Lee Kemp.
Be tough.
That will be a close battle,
I'd watch that.
a well fought battle.
Yeah,
These
he is
posts are
good.
loading. Yeah, Louis mint. He's
He
back.
was very good,
Disgusting.
very fucking good.
That's wild.
Because I obviously wasn't at the BMBF show, so I hadn't seen him before. And then when he came out, I was like,
Mm.
Brandon's
So
got his
he's
work cut
won
out
both
here.
of his shows. This was the first one that he's not won. But I said
It
to him
was,
before, I
it was
was like,
close. It was hard to beat him. Like I said
yeah,
that to Brandon, I was like, he's good.
yeah. Again, apples and oranges in the sense that Brandon is just more densely packed, and he's bigger and just a little bit more of a bodybuilder in a sense. I think Lewis could be a bit more classic in that sense. I think his shape is really, really good, but he also is peeled. Like he's
Yeah.
really, really lean. Some of these shots that you see in there, look at that. His leg detail and condition is just absolutely nuts. So yeah, a well fought battle for Bran G Fit. Where is he?
Just down.
Underneath Tom Scott.
There we go. Bran G Fit. Does he have any just from his class? I
Uh,
didn't want to ruin the surprise, but I kind of need to know.
yeah, I don't know if there's any. I think so. That was obviously the overall. So Brandon won his class against Louis, which was pretty close. I don't think it was a 1 point. I think it was maybe a few points, but it was pretty close. Um, and then Brandon won the overall,
It
and
was unanimous, was it not?
yeah, it was less close in the overall. Brandon was the best bodybuilder. Like he had the best shape. He was the leanest. Like realistically, not maybe again. Like Ed's very lean as well. Louis very lean. Like, but because of Brandon's like just overall package, like his shape and everything, like it's just very hard to beat that. Like,
Yeah, like they are like the front lat's wild.
yeah,
It's
Mm.
just like how bubbly he is up here as well, because this guy's fucking nuts. He's so heavily muscled,
yeah,
and Brandon doesn't look small next to him as a junior. And again, that kind of freak factor of like, how on earth is that a junior? Look at how well muscled he is in a sense. He's the cutest, most nicest human being I've ever seen in person.
yeah. Such a lovely guy.
It's
So
just
we're
like
obviously
you ever
buzzing.
just see him without a wee smile on your face, just like
Yeah, he's just does it.
kind of out.
So yeah, we were buzzing for Brandon. Like he deserved that. Like beforehand, I mean, if you'd have said that that was gonna happen, like I wouldn't have been surprised because he's fucking good. Like he's so good. Like when he's on stage, it's like Jesus Christ. Like he's got such a good overall kind of package. Like he's so well balanced. He's got like no real gaps. He's in great condition. He was full and fresh because we had like over 2 weeks of peaking. So like yeah, he's great.
Physique
And
just translates well onto a stage as well, doesn't it?
yeah, well deserved win. Like especially like I say in the overall, it was a good battle. Don't get me wrong. There was good bodybuilders there, but it was Brandon, wasn't it? You could see it by like a couple of rounds in. We were like, Brandon's got this. Like he's got to have it. Like I say, I at one point thought I was maybe going to have Ed and Brandon winning because they gave out two pro cards in the Masters. I was like, imagine if they did that. But I don't think they'd give Ed a pro card, especially when he didn't win his class. You know what I mean? Even though I think he beat Nick in the overall, it would be a bit like it doesn't really make sense. Although it would have been fucking cool. But yeah, like definitely well deserved for Brandon. Like he is a very, very, very good bodybuilder. And just a very nice guy. So yeah, absolutely
There's
chuffed.
his wee smirk. Just
Me and Matt were a bit emotional because we know
Yeah.
like obviously how much well, we both love Brandon. Like obviously I love a lot of my clients, don't get me wrong. But like when you see especially because Brandon is quite timid, isn't he? He's quiet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it makes you
yeah,
almost
for
like
sure.
love him a bit more because you're like, oh, come on, mate. Like when he came off stage, I was like, oh, like he showed
Yeah.
some emotion. It was nice. It was like because I don't see him show that much emotion very often. So like he was a bit emotional. He cried a little bit, which is good. Like fucking, that's fine, mate. It's nice to see. Like and like we gave him a big hug, and you could tell he was absolutely fucking buzzing. So yeah, really, really happy for him. And well deserved because he's had to dig pretty hard. Like. Don't get me wrong, he's not been fucking buried. I've not been giving him hours of cardio or anything stupid, but between that BMBF and the WMBF, he was a bit concerned he might not be in condition. And I said, look, mate, like, you just got to keep going. Like, he was ran pretty flat for a little while and he looked pretty damn shit before we peaked. But I knew that he was just flat. It wasn't that he was eating away at himself. His training was still good. And then as soon as we started freshening up and feeding up, he just looked fucking ridiculous. So it was like, yeah, cool, you're going to be sound. The main thing for Brandon was just managing fluid retention. Like he because he was so battered, he just has no detail in his lower body. I think we said this on the last podcast, didn't we? We were like,
Yeah.
he's got like no detail in his lower body at the end of the day, but it was getting better and better as we just dropped that fatigue as the peak went on. And now like we've got that in a much better spot. And he was still even on the day, like as he was pumping up for the overall, he's like, how do my glutes look? And I was like, mate, relax, like you look good. Like you just need to try and chill as much as you can. Even this morning, he messaged me, do you think we can bring a good look this weekend? Because I'm doing back-to-back shows. I was like, yes, mate. Like he doesn't really see it. You know what I mean? Like when he won his class, the first thing
Yeah.
he said, he was like, do you think I deserved that? He didn't.
Oh.
He literally, as soon as we saw him off stage, I gave him a big hug. I was like, "Fucking sick, mate." And me and Matt were there, and he went, "Do you think I deserved that?" Like, yes. Like you were very good, mate.
Yeah. See if I said this, I put this into the group chat when the pro show was on. He would have placed third in the pro show.
Yeah, I think he would have been third in the pros.
You would have won 400 quid, Brandon.
Mhm.
So when there's a
I
pro
would have
show
paid
there,
for that Airbnb that he bought to stay an extra day.
Yeah. So obviously, because he won the pro card, the pro show was the day after. So like he was like, "Should I do it?" And I was like, "If you want to." So he booked an Airbnb that night to like basically plan to do the show the next day. Steph had told us that he could do UKDFBA, he could do NBW, but his first show, once you've won the pro card, has to be a WMBF pro show. Like that, if you're a pro in the WMBF, your first show has to be that, which was fine. Um, so we thought, right, cool, we'll do the pro show. That's the first pro show ticked off, but then you'll do, UKDFBA and MBW. But then AJ messaged me in the morning just saying like, oh, congrats to Brandon, but by the way, if he does the pro show today, he can't do UKFBA, he can't do MBW as an amateur. So we obviously had a chat, and Brandon was like, I kind of want to do those. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Like, this is only his second ever show. To then never be able to be an amateur again is a bit shit. So so he didn't do the pro show. He's doing UKFBA this weekend as an amateur. He's doing MBW as an amateur, likely. Um, and then WMBF Worlds as a pro,
sick.
which will be fucking ridiculous. Like the standard at the WMBF Worlds is crazy. So like that'd be really,
Especially
really
in the pro classes, yeah, that'll be
yeah,
sick.
exactly. So we need to have a chat about all that, don't we? Because we've got a few lads that want to do it. I know Petru's doing it. I know Brandon Doherty's doing it. I think Tom Scott wants to do it. I don't know what Ed's plans are.
Fucking
Uh,
beauty.
so yeah. And the
All the
thing is as
ball.
well, like one thing that's exciting, especially for all these boys, is like they can still be a bit better. You know what I mean? Like Brandon's lean, but he's not like inside out. Oh my God. Like he can still be a bit sharper. And especially when you've freshened up, especially then if it's like, well, I've got a bit of time between now and the Worlds, or now and MBW, can get a little bit leaner.
Yeah, there's a good
Brandon,
amount of time
Brandon's
between
not
the
doing
MBW
PCA
and
as well.
the Worlds as well. There's like a good few weeks. So
Exactly.
just
And
making
then
sure
same
you
with
get
Tom
through.
Scott. Tom Scott, like, he's really, really good. He's got loads of muscle, but he can still be a bit sharper, and he's not miles off now. Like, he's already getting leaner this week. He's looking better this week.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, go on. You had Andre on Saturday.
Yes. No, there's one of his pals called JJ Campbell reposting it. It's not me. We've got the post here. He's finally posted. So when was the last time he done it? I always said to him, you need to start posting more. It was 2 weeks ago. Because I think he wants to like work a little bit within the fitness industry as well. Because he is very passionate about it. Prep has kind of cooked him in a sense that he is just a little bit less motivated to do that. But now, like straight away, even you've seen it, Noah. Like once I got some more food back in him, and he had that kind of just like stress drop off of like how am I going to do this weekend, this and that. He just became a different person. Like he was so
Yeah.
much more happy, chirpier, like cracking jokes here and there, this and that. It was really, really good to see because I'm just used to Andre being like very cold and just like monotone. But like to see him kind of come out his shell some more was really, really good. He is there with his, and you're gonna see him with his pro card as well. Andre winning his pro card was great. Yeah, that's Brandon G's pro card, obviously. But yeah, it was great to see Andre take the win after placing second to Brandon Docherty, so my other client at the Wnbf Scottish. I was thinking, it would be brilliant if Andre won this, but teens is going to be absolutely mental. But Andre did get put into the tall class, whereas Brandon Docherty was in the short class with Drew and with Owen as well. So Andre's class, he had one main competitor, which was the fella to his right. Now, I know this looks pretty convincing towards Andre, and Andre's worst part of his body is his back, or was significantly at the start of prep, but he's trained it so well that it's actually brought up to be not a stronger point, but it was looking much better here. But you can see here, like, level of muscularity between Andre and his legs. Look at the stupids versus this man here, I think is Zach Daniels' client.
Yeah, Ethan. Is Zach's client, Ethan Mead, I think his name is. Fucking
He,
peeled. Fair
he
play to
was
him. He's very good.
Yeah, he was really lean, and that's the difficult part. Like, I know Zach came up to me and he was like, "I don't know if I actually agree with that decision." And I was like, realistically, some of the judges have went for muscularity, some of the judges have went for condition because I think it was close. But Andre was significantly more muscled than the other guy. The other guy is just taller and he's a teen, so it's going to take time to fill out his frame, and just be able to actually match the kind of like density that Andre has. And Andre obviously isn't peeled, but like he isn't out of shape. Look at that shot there. You can see there like he is in good condition. He's got glute lines here. Those quarter turns for him are actually really nice. I do like those shots. And yeah, I was super, super happy with the package that Andre brought. Like, I mentioned this on previous podcasts that health wise, Andrew just need to be really careful with. His blood pressure is super low, something that he's had for pretty much all his life, but just didn't really realize it. Prep has made it kind of a little bit worse and made him like notice it more. It's been really low, and it's just a case of being careful with him. And now again that we're starting to put more food back in, and he's got the stress drop off, and he's excited to get growing again. He just feels like a brand new person. So just finishing up his season here because there's no point in trying to push for further. Like we discussed possibly Ellie, and I was like, mate, there's no point in making yourself feel worse and just overall risking your health more. The doctors are doing really nothing for him, so it's just a case of adding in some more food, making sure that we're still on top of salt, fluid, so on and so forth, and just getting him back into a nice healthy position. But he says down here because like Andre after the BNBF show and even before the BNBF show was like, oh, I don't know if I actually like bodybuilding. I was like, is it something that I want to do? Like I don't think I'll even like being on stage. And like he's very again just monotone and not emotionless, but like you kind of need to be like that in prep at some points. And then I think that kind of like took over him to the point where he was just like wasn't excited about anything. But I think this weekend really showed him like what you can do naturally. Seeing Petru up on stage and seeing Petru like even in the Airbnb while he's posing, he was like, "That's so fucking cool." It's like I want to do that. I want to look like that. That's my dream physique right there. And it's really good for him to kind of be exposed to that. And he knows that he's got good genetics as well. And like for the age that he is, the level of muscle that he's got, he can be really good. And with more muscle next time, and obviously knowing how to do
Those
it,
legs,
but
mate. That shot, his legs are a joke.
mate, they're stupids. Like
Does
I've
he do like a 5 plate? Is it 5 plate side back hack?
yeah, anyone can do that nowadays. I
First,
done,
never
I
done
done
He's
it.
it
a team
today
though.
for three
He's a
reps
team.
for anyone that hasn't seen it. But yeah, I've seen Andre do some fucking ridiculous shit. There's like a belt squat in the gym, and I've watched him do like 8 plates a side on it, and just blast through it. It's crazy. So Yeah, Andre is a super, super impressive teen, and it's going to be very scary to think about what he's going to look like in, 2 or 3 years' time. With the next time he comes back to stage, he's just going to build a lot of muscle. The first time that I met Andre was when he was just training in pro life, and I'd seen him a few times before, done some posing with him, and in his off season, I was like, what the fuck? He was 90 kg to be fair, so I've pulled off, 20 kg to get here, but to have a better planned out prep and one that's, more planned in advance instead of just like, right, let's start at the start of this year. He spent like 95% of this year dieting. There was a very short period in between where we got to push back up. So having that all planned out, I think is going to be very good for Andrew. He done brilliant. Tom Scott,
Yeah, so that was
chronological
that
order,
was
that would
everybody.
be
That
the
was everybody Saturday, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Sunday was so it was cool because the first class. So obviously, yeah, the day before we had four clients in the overall out of eight, and one of them obviously won the overall. So that was like the end of Saturday, and then the first class on Sunday we had Tom Scott in novice lightweight, and he won that class. So it was like we literally won the end of the day, and then we won at the start of the day. So that was really cool. And I put that on my story. I was like first client, first class, and first
Ended the
one
day,
again.
then started the day.
Yeah. So that was really sick. Like Tom, it was a close. It was very close.
Yeah.
Closer than I would have liked it to be. A lot closer than I would have liked it to be. Um, Nate, I think his name is Nathan Doherty or Nate Doherty. I think his name is AJ's client. Ridiculous shape, like really, really, really good shape. Way, way, way better shape than Tom. And that's not me being disrespectful to Tom. Tom's got loads of muscle, like ridiculous, but he's not got the best shape. Like his waist isn't the smallest. His clavicular width isn't too wide.
Yeah,
He's
look there.
just huge. Yeah. So this was Nate. Obviously, Nate went into the overall with Tom as well. And like, he's a great bodybuilder, mate. Fucking awesome bodybuilder. But Tom was bigger and leaner. And at the end of the day, shape is great and it can take you so far. And it nearly won him the class. And it deservedly nearly won him the class because he did look great.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
not out of shape,
no,
but
no, no. He's
he's
not out of
not
shape.
he's not
He's not out of
huge,
shape at all.
and it
No.
makes a big difference.
Yeah, Tom was a little bit harder, especially from the front, quite a lot harder from the front. Nate's posing was better, Nate's shape was better, but Tom was bigger and leaner. So it's like, what do you want? And I would have understood. I would have understood if he'd have lost it, but I'd have been pissed off. Like I would have understood it, but I'd have been pissed off.
They
So
had Nate winning before they brought the three of them back out.
yeah, so they did a
That spoke
final call
to
out. They
is
did a
it
final call out, didn't they? They should have realistically. I don't know who the third guy was. Sorry if you're watching. They should have just done Tom and Nate because it was obvious they were doing top two. The guy in third was third.
yeah.
They were doing the top two call out, which was quite cool. And Tom held the middle, which was sick. And I had Tom winning it, but I had it very close. I was like, fucking hell, this is way closer than I wanted it to be. And I think basically they did obviously just go for the bigger bodybuilder and the leaner bodybuilder because he was bigger and leaner. But
Again, if this is classic Nate's demolishing Tom.
yeah,
Tom
definitely.
is that like dense, fucking
Yeah.
hard bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like it does make sense.
But Tom still looked great. He looked better in the overall as well. I think he just needed more time through the day to just chill out. I was saying to him, like, just stay off your feet, try and sleep if you can. Like, the difference that can make throughout a day. When do you ever get to just chill out and nap in the day when you're busy with work and things like that? Ever. On a show day, you actually can. And you then look fucking mint later in the day. Like, this is what people don't realize. And we've done it with you, Josh, didn't we? Like, multiple times when you would be on so early because you're a teen. We kind of knew after the first show or two that you were going to win your class.
Yep.
And then it was like, right, you got the overall at the end of the day. Chill out, sleep, eat at these times, but just fucking chill and sleep. And like you'd always look mint in the overall most times because you'd get that time to just relax.
Yeah.
And that's what Tom needed to do. And he did look better in the overall, but there were good bodybuilders in that overall. I think I'd had Tom fourth, fifth. For the top three, got their pro cards, and Tom was on that fourth and fifth. He was just outside of that when they were doing the comparisons. And Tom, in all honesty, he if he was, let's say, maybe 2 kilos leaner, maybe he would have won a pro card on the day. Maybe. It's hard to say.
Easier said than done, wasn't it?
It's impossible to say. But again, he can be leaner for future shows. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to focus on. Not maybe for this weekend. This weekend, you can be leaner just through being fresher and a better peak, and even the next weekend. But when you've got time in between, let's say you've got 2, 3 weeks in between, you actually can lose body fat. week to week, show to show, if you've got like peak to peak to peak, which he has because of how the shows are, and again, I'm not a huge fan of doing that, but sometimes with clients wanting to do multiple shows, I don't blame them. Like with how the show season is, like you want to do UKFBA, you want to do WNBF, you want to do PCA, like I get it. But I'm not going to dig a client in between shows. It's just not what is needed. It's not what you do. If you've got 3, 4 weeks, then you can because then you got time to come back out. But you haven't really got time week to week to like push for more fat loss. But you can still get sharper, and he is getting sharper this week. He's actually looking really good because it's more time spent out of a deficit and just being fresher, more time spent away from cardio and stuff, and you just look that little bit harder by just dropping more and more fatigue as the week goes on. And he's looking good going into this weekend.
Sick. Sick, sick.
You had Sean in that class.
Sean, yes. So I've not posted Sean or Angie yet, because done one of Petru, Brandon done one and then collaborated with me, but I've just not had time. Like it's been really busy, kind of catching up from everything. But Sean placed fifth in the novice class. These photos aren't tremendous, like they're a bit blurry, because his condition, I don't think is picked up quite as well on these shots here. But he honestly looked brilliant. I was really, really, really happy with how Sean looked. I put up the most recent thing I put up is this here. But Sean's shape was really nice. Like when he was opening up into his front relaxed, into his front lat spread, everything shape was lovely. Condition wise, was really happy with it as well. Certain shots that really, really kind of show through, and that was great. His posing routine I thought was mint as well. Like he hit a few certain shots. Matt, shout out to yourself on this. I know he kind of like put a lot of input into that, but you did help him with it. He was hitting some 3/4 double biceps and shit, and it looked incredible. So yeah, Sean was buzzing with the fifth place. There's a few photos that I've got of him actually, and it's him looking at me just like that. It was just like, I'll fucking take that because I'd kind of spoke to him before it, just like, mate, this is going to be a ridiculous show. It's WNBF Supernaturals. It's across 2 days. There's about 250, 300 athletes competing in a novice class and the first time on a bodybuilding stage. You will do very well to place in the top five here. Like, we will be buzzing with that. So when he got called out in that fifth there, I was really happy. I could tell he was as well. I'll see if I can show that there. That's the comparison from the start of the year to now, 90 kg to 71 kg. Again, like shape wise, I think Sean is great. Some photos here, I don't have them up on the laptop. But overall, really, really, really happy with how he looked. I think there's that was great there. That's the one that he's just buzzing with him actually placing, and honestly, I was too. So in such a high standard class for his first show, I was really happy with that. So yeah, Sean smashed it. Then it would have been just my client side, just Petru, yeah.
Just Petra.
Petru. He's updated his profile picture to him winning the gold on there. So Petru, obviously we spoke about before. He done the PC Naturals 3, I believe it was. Really nice look here, but just needed to be sharper in general. The photos, like from where he was to where he is now, like there is a drastic, drastic difference. He's came on a lot condition wise. Overall, just looking really good going into the show. I was feeding him up pretty damn hard, consistently throughout the weekend. We now know that I can feed him even harder. Ideally, looking to kind of hold that spilled look more closer to the show, because I gave him 600 carbs 4 or 5 days in a row, and then spilled like because he was holding weight the whole time, or if anything dropping weight, and then he spilled a day earlier than we expected. I still gave him a good bit of food so he could kind of hold that, and his body just just burned straight through it. Ended up waking up like really low on show day, so I still had to feed him up quite hard, but I was still trying to be somewhat conservative just to make sure that he wasn't too watery, his midsection wasn't blurred, so it was a little bit flatter for his class, but he did win his class. I don't know if I've got any shots of it around here. He won his class, the classic tall, against Reharts, and who came second? We don't know the
It
guy's
was
name, but he
That Tim's client.
no,
no,
James
no, no,
Frank
no,
came
no,
after,
no.
and then it was a black guy who had like the teeniest waist I've ever seen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He was really good, him.
He was
Mm.
peeled, to be fair, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, if he's sharper, he'll be dangerous. But yeah, this is Pedro a year ago, just before he started with me, compared to now, which I think is such a cool comparison. I think that's a great photo of him. Makes me look like a small child, which is a bit shit, but he looked really, really good for the overalls. I decided, fuck it, let's go for it. Gave him 2.5 to 3 grams of salt, and gave him 125 grams more carbs, gave him more fluid to kind of match that salt. rammed him just with the pump products. He had his wee salt capsules beforehand, good amount of fluid, and he was like, right, I'm quite warm. I'm actually like a little bit sweaty in here, but it was that wee corridor that was just stinking and so warm, like the bit where you're about to go through. So we sat in there, took him through backstage or kind of side stage, started getting pumped up, got his hot stuff on him, and he just started to come to life more and more. I was like, this is going to be good. But it's when he stepped out on stage, like I'd ran through and I was just like, fuck yeah. Like he looked so much fuller, so much bigger, so much better. He had that kind of intimidating look that I know, you know. Like when I think of Petro, I think of what in fuck's name is that when he's on stage, he's just so big, so wide. Didn't have that quite as much for the class, but obviously he's really good, so he was still able to win it. Made some posing adjustments as well for his front relaxed, like a little bit more internal rotation because his arms were a lot smaller in the class itself. So he fixed a few things, came back and brought a really good look. This is a six shot here. So he was against Toyton in the overall. Toyton, for those who have not seen before, is just an absolute freak of nature. One of the judges described him as the second coming of Ronnie Coleman because I was speaking to them afterwards, and he was like, "Your boy, 99.9% of the time wins like every overall, as a classic physique competitor." And honestly, they said, I think if he was in the bodybuilding overall, there was a good chance he would have won that too. And I was like, "That's sick." But it was like Toyton is just you can't you can't compete against that in a sense. He's just absolutely crazy. I was like that's one of the people that you see maybe once every decade or two. So it was like your boy definitely deserves a pro card, so we gave him it. So Petru won his WNBF pro cards, which was brilliant. I then dropped it while holding my bag of burgers and chips and smashed the bottom of it. So that that was a great way to end the night. There's like a wee chip. I've actually got like 2% of a pro card in my room right now because I picked a wee bit back up and I was going to give him it to glue it back on, but I've got it, so I've got like 2% of a WNBF Pro card. So I need to make the other 98%. But yeah, Petru done really well. I was super happy for him. He's got a show in a week and a half's time. So September 27th, 26th, 27th, I believe. It's the Romania show, and then we'll have possibly the LA Worlds, the WNBF Worlds, which will be great. So, yeah, I'm very excited for him. Like, it's a really good season for him. Like, beforehand, he'd only really competed in Romania, hadn't, experienced much, but now to come over to the UK and do all this, he's buzzing with it. So, yeah, super
That
happy.
photo of you just like giving him a fist bump, mate. He looks fucking massive, doesn't he? Look at his legs.
Yeah, mate, yeah, he's a big boy. I just look as if I'm about to suck some cock. Take him out of it, and I'm just like, ah. Get ready. But yeah, that was a highlight of my weekend. Realistically, like a client winning a pro card is just nuts. I never would have thought that, a year ago. So super happy for him,
Yeah, mate. Congrats. Very cool.
and you too, brother. Two
Thank you.
WNBA pro cards. A lot of people did come up to us as well. Like we were speaking about this, how they were like, "Mate, you're just at every show. Like you lot are just every show, and your clients are just winning things left, right, and center." It kind of felt like I know there's always people that would have had better results than that, but it kind of felt like we dominated that weekend in a sense, like always thereabouts and backstage and looking after people and like always around and just clients on pretty much all throughout the day. It was just constant. Obviously, you winning the overall. And then the next day, he started out the day with another win again. I was like, this is so cool. And then Petru, like, doing really well as well. So, yeah, a very good weekend. I thought it was one of the best show weekends I've been to in quite some time. The fact that it was 2 days as well made it feel a little bit more special, I think. Like, it was just a big show and made it feel a little bit more, not professional, but it's like a big event in a sense.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like really cool. And this is like why I wanted to kind of like start this was so we could have weekends like this and we can like be there as a team. And obviously we had quite a lot of compliments from either like even like people like Tim. Like I was chatting with Tim and he was like, mate, like it's so fucking cool to see like what you guys have built. He was like, forget the results. He was like, the results are great. This was obviously Sunday after Saturday. He was like, but like even seeing all of the lads like staying and waiting like to get a photo at the end, like all my clients stayed. They didn't have to stay. I mean, I know they were in the overall, but even after the overall, they stayed for like another hour to congratulate Brandon G and to get photos with Brandon G. You know what I mean? They like Ed could have gone home pissed off. You know what I mean? Drew could have gone home pissed off because we weren't cheering for Drew in the overall because he wasn't competing against Brandon or Ed to win it. You know what I mean? So Drew could have been like, they didn't fucking cheer for me. And instead he was like, no, I completely understand it. Like he wanted Brandon to win as much as we did. You know what I mean? It's like so fucking cool. Like, and like, yeah, we had like all these lads staying behind, like
This
to,
was yonks after the show. Like at the very end, there's nobody in the crowds. Everyone's went home, and we all getting our photos and everything. They're all just kind of all buzzing to be fair. Just jumping about because Brandon's on his pro card, but yeah, it was sick.
And like a lot of like you say, a lot of the WNBF like staff, like really complimentary of just like how us guys are and what we were doing, and a lot of people there saying like fucking hell, like you guys are doing well, and yeah, it's just nice. And a lot of people like complimenting the podcast, just saying we all seem like down to earth guys, and they like the podcast because we're all just sound and having a laugh, and we don't know what soggy biscuit is, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's one of the best moments of the podcast. I think that could go down as the best moment of the podcast ever.
I showed my mum it last night because Meg met my mum for the first time last night. Went for food, and I'd already told my mum about it, and like she was like finding it funny because she knew what it was, but apparently my mum didn't know until a couple of years ago when my sister told my mum or whatever. I was like, fucking hell, how does everybody know what it is but me? And then
Missing
I
out.
showed her the clip, and we were like all just pissing ourselves. In Pizza Express, you just hear it dead loud going, "Soggy biscuit, when you put the biscuit in the tea?"
Incredible. Yeah, it was
Why
great.
is Lewis Agnew's Instagram up?
Is
Yeah,
that
I saw
who's got
that.
the
Oh,
photo?
is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first slide of his weekend dump. Is that weekend dump? Oh, it doesn't say weekend dump. I feel like you need to do a dump for like every day of your life now.
And that's what it's become, isn't it? Monday dump, Tuesday
Dump,
dump,
dump, dump,
everything you
and
do
dump.
every day.
Yeah. So I've never jumped on the trend. I don't think I will. I'm just so hardcore, brother.
Jump on the story instead.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps us up, to be honest. UKDFB this weekend. Who have you got?
I've got the same four.
Same
So,
four. Nice. Just Brandon for myself. So
Noah,
I've got
six
Sinead.
pints.
I've got Sinead competing this weekend, which will be good.
Six
Matt,
pints.
how many have you got?
I think I've got another potentially double figures,
Go on, son.
which is pretty
I'm
cool.
absolutely killing it, aren't you?
Yeah, good fun.
Still in the
Really
game.
good fun.
That photo of Sean that you put side by side is mental.
Oh, this side relaxed one.
People need to keep their eyes peeled for that eyes
Yeah,
peeled for that transformation.
can't wait to drop that one. Very good.
Yes, historical.
All right,
Like
let's wrap it up.
that is very good. It's obviously having Matt as well, and
Yeah.
all of our guys posed very well, realistically, and a lot of that does come.
100% makes a difference. 100%, a million percent. Obviously, you can't have a million percent, but it does make a big difference. It's like not a coincidence that most of Matt's clients do get good results, and it's not a coincidence that obviously we send our clients to Matt. Like, obviously, you can only do so much. You can't make somebody grow muscle and get leaner, but you can make them present what they have to the best of their ability, and like it does make a huge difference. Like I didn't have to shout that much at my clients to change their posing at all. You know what I mean? I might have to say quads to keep their quads switched on. But like in the past, I've had it where I'm literally like having to say quite a lot. You know what I mean? Whereas you can tell that they've already been through the practice with Matt and it makes a massive difference.
Especially when you like when it gets to that overall and you've got or how many we had four guys from the team
Yeah.
in the overall, which was unbelievable. Like you can't shout for everyone. So
Exactly.
at least having that reassurance where you know everyone's posing still going to be good,
Yeah.
then it helps. It does help massively. And even from a confidence perspective for the boys competing, like we did it with Brandon, just before he went out, like he did a round while you were pleasing him, and you could tell like his confidence grew, knowing that his posing was good.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference. So,
Sign up with Matt. We'll leave it on that.
yeah, buddy.
It's us. But yeah, that's all. Thank you for joining us for another episode. We shall see you in the next one, and goodbye.